We have so many new releases that it's really hard to keep up with them. I have had the chance to test a few of them, and I have some opinions. Moreover, I even have some tea to spill. So if you are interested in them, then please stay and we will jump right into it. Hi there, welcome to my channel. My name is Diana and I am a fragrance enthusiast who has been collecting fragrances over the last 5 years. Here on this channel, we talk about all fragrances. It doesn't matter if it's niche, designer or Middle Eastern. The ultimate goal is just to smell good and feel good. Today I'm bringing you a quick review of 4 new releases and some tea, as not all of them are what they look like. Let's start with the tea. Now, disclaimer. I do not want to talk sick about any other creators or brands. My goal is just to keep it real. I am not blaming anyone. I just want to be true to myself and share my experience with you, whether that's good or bad. So the tea is about the European launch of the new commodity Milk Orchid fragrance that was created in collaboration with Emma. Yes, I finally got my hands on it, and hear me out, as it was quite a challenge. So, I already had the chance to get a sample of it when I ordered the Discovery set from Commodity's website. And I really liked the scent. I even made a first quick impressions video in short form, so I will try to link it for you as well. As I mentioned in that review, it is a nice, perfumey, lactonic scent. Not necessarily like a real milky scent, but it is creamy, super sweet, still airy, musky at the same time. It is a beautiful gourmand without smelling like real milk. It is also slightly nutty, very cozy, very enveloping with a very nice lasting power and projection. So basically, nothing less than I would have expected from Emma. But yeah, going back to the launch and my story time. So I was sure that I wanted to buy the full bottle of it, and I wanted to support Emma as well. By the way, I'm not really on TikTok. I post there once in a while, but usually I rarely consume fragrance content over there. But I know that Emma has her main following on TikTok. I only know her from her YouTube videos, and I have always enjoyed her content, and yeah, I find her persona very likable. But again, let's go back to the launch. The European launch was announced for the 2nd of September on Commodity's website. I was stalking their website already like 2 to 3 days before the launch to get more information about the time slot when it gets released. I really didn't want to miss it, right? But there was nothing on the website. Just to make sure, I signed up for their notifications so that I can get an email once the scent will become available for ordering. I am also usually an early bird, so in the morning of the launch, I was already checking the availability on Commodity's EU website at 5 a.m. There was a countdown on their website, which was supposed to end around 8 a.m. I thought, great, then I have plenty of time. I got ready for work, and I only checked the website at around 7:50 again. Nothing. Then I was basically refreshing the website between 7:50 and 8:10. Still nothing. I was not able to order it. So I thought, okay, I must have misread something. So I checked back at 9 a.m. No success. In the meantime, I was busy with my regular job, and I didn't have the time to check back until around 10 a.m. Around 10, since there was still no option to order it, I checked their Instagram site, and I found a story on Commodity's account stating a particular release time. But it was in US time zone, so I converted it, and I saw that it was supposed to be later in the afternoon, so I went back to work. Fast forward, the next thing that I saw was an email early in the afternoon where Commodity was stating that the fragrance got sold out on Commodity's website. And I can read the message for you. So it said, our latest launch, Milk Orchid, has sold out immediately. We didn't even get a chance to send out our launch emails or design a sold-out email. So we are writing this to apologize for the stock out. This has been our biggest launch to date, and we are still figuring out how to navigate it. What we can share is that we are already working on a restock, and that we'll let you know when it's live again. Thanks for sharing in the excitement that Emma and all of us feel about Milk Orchid. Stay tuned for more. Then I went on Instagram again, like what happened? And some people said that they released it at 7 a.m. and it got sold out in a few minutes. Not sure if it was true, but for sure I never got any notification that it became available at all. So what do I think? First of all, I don't blame anything on Emma. She is the collaborator, not the brand. She was not the project manager of the launch. She only gave her ideas and face to this launch, right? So Emma, I'm still happy for you and I'm still supporting you. But this launch, at least in Europe, was just disappointing. I had a tough day at work and this was just the cherry on top, to be honest. Secondly, commodity. Please hire people who can read the clock and convert the time. I can imagine that the European market is not that important, but still, communicating about the correct time of the release in case such an anticipated launch should not be that difficult. Some people on Instagram were even speculating that commodity might not have too much stock for the EU, and that's why they almost immediately announced a pre-order with a shipping date and October or November. I'm not sure if that was really the case, but to be honest, I was not really interested in a pre-order anymore. Usually I don't have problems with a pre-order, but then communicate about it properly. But then, how did I get the fragrance? Luckily, a Dutch retailer called Skins managed to get it on stock, and I was able to purchase it. I got the package, but then the packaging. So the package, the box, arrived without any damage, very nicely packed by the retailer. The fragrance, however, arrived in a cardboard mold, not in a regular box. And I immediately saw some stains. Looks like my fragrance leaked a bit, as the top lid was not properly screwed on. As you can see on the pictures, I will insert some pictures. It was a minor leak and I didn't want to return this fragrance because of this. But again, commodity. If I'm paying over 150 euros, I expect that the lid is secured properly. So yeah, this was my short story time. Nothing really that I can do about it, but I thought that I will just share my experience for full transparency. No hate to anyone again. I'm still happy for Emma and her successful launch. So this was Milk Orchid and its launch story. So let's move on to the next fragrance in this video. JHAG's Powder Love, which is a very lovely, powdery, enveloping marshmallow scent. I have got a sample of it a few days ago, and it was an instant love. As you can see in the meantime, I already upgraded to a full bottle. Honestly, it was also a surprise to me because this house is usually a hit or miss for me, but Miami Shake was already a very strong like for me. I think I'm the exception, and I'm also enjoying Powder Love very much as well. It has the notes of marshmallow, cotton candy, candied almonds, orange blossom, tonka bean, and the JHAG type of ambroxan musk combo. It is gourmand, powdery, like the pink powder sugar on top of the marshmallows, but it is still wearable. It has also some cleanness thanks to the musk. It may be a bit juvenile, but it doesn't turn me off. It is rather playful, I would not wear it in any formal settings, but I can imagine wearing it when I go out for shopping or running errands during the weekend. The longevity is also very good. I tested it so far 2 times, and both times I was still able to smell it for more than 6 hours. The projection is also nice thanks to the ambroxan. I kept getting some whiffs of it during the entire wear. I saw some people on Fragrantica really dislike this fragrance, but I think those were the ones who also mentioned that Miami Shake didn't work out for them. Also, someone said that it might be a dupe of Love, Don't Be Shy, which I have to completely disagree with. To me, this one is more gourmand, and the orange blossom is not that prominent. Love, Don't Be Shy is more floral to my nose, and a bit more intrusive as well. Powder Love is lighter, muskier, and has a slight kind of fabric conditioner undertone. I am sure that it is not a safe blind buy, especially if you are sensitive to ambroxan or musk. But if you are on the market for an easygoing, sweet, clean scent with some strong gourmand aspects, then I absolutely recommend it. So this was Powder Love. The next one I wanted to talk about is Versace's new release, Dylan Blush Pink. No, I don't have a bottle of it as it didn't work out well with my skin chemistry. But let's start with the notes. It has freesia, strawberry, apple, bergamot, orange blossom, marshmallow, tonka bean, Madagascar vanilla and musk. So it should be something that I normally would enjoy. I love fruity, floral gourmand scents, and I also enjoy the previous flankers of the Dylan line. But about 1.5 weeks ago, I was traveling to visit my family in my home country, and I had the chance to test this fragrance both on paper and skin. On paper, it was a fruity, candy-like sweet fragrance. I was not really able to smell the different types of fruit. I only smelled the fruity facets with a strong musk undertone. The fruitiness was relatively short-lived on paper. It faded rather quickly, and the sweet, musky vanilla base remained only. It was not bad, but it was very generic, like the smell when you enter a drugstore. So it was okay, and then I thought that, okay, I may test it on skin next time the way back and see what's going to happen. So a few days later, when I was flying back, I sprayed it directly on my skin, and it was love at first sniff. I smelled the strawberry, the apple, the sweet candiness of the marshmallow, so I immediately reached for a box and I was sure that I was going to buy it. So, fragrance is in my hand, but then I told myself, okay, but we know how to buy a fragrance. First, give it some time, let it dry, sniff it again, and decide if it makes sense to buy it. Oh, and I'm so happy that I listened to myself. I was wearing this on my skin for about 5 minutes, and it turned to something very bad. It smelled like overripe, almost rotting fruits to me. I don't know what turned on my skin. Maybe it was the combination of the fruits and the musk, but it made me think of like the old fruits that have been thrown into a compost and they are sitting over there for a few days already. So I'm very sorry to report, but Versace Dylan Blush Pink just didn't work out for me. The last fragrance on my list for today is the infamous Donna Born in Roma Ivory from Valentino. It was released in my country relatively late, so I guess she's already an old news. I also watched a couple of reviews and most of them did not really give a good review. Yeah, I think people were feeling a little bit misled by the marketing and the notes. Everyone was thinking of a gourmand, love, don't be shy like perfume from Valentino, and they got a floral musky skin scent instead, which is quite lovely though. I only had it for a day or so, so this is not an in-depth review, but my first impression is that I agree and disagree with these reviews at the same time. Yes, it is not a gourmand. Yes, it is a bit generic, but in a good way. It has a lovely orange blossom, which is creamy, sweet, and I can smell even the marshmallow aspect, but not as a real gourmand. Rather, the sweetness and the kind of cloud-like texture comes out of it. The dry down is a musky vanilla, which becomes a skin scent. This is a fragrance that you wear for yourself, but you can also wear it in settings where you are close to others or you don't want to offend anyone with your fragrance. I can see that people around you will barely notice it, but if they do, they will enjoy that sweet scent bubble around you. It is not a heavy hitter, not a beast that most of us like, but I can appreciate it and I can see a place for this in my collection. Also, I have to admit that the bottle got me. I have most of the cubes and I really wanted to have this one in my collection. So this was Valentino Born in Roma Ivory. So this was it for today. Have you tried any of these fragrances? Or have you any other releases that you have been excited about? Please let me know in the comments. And until the next time, bye bye.